Welcome everybody to the Jaded Playground. Tonight's episode is for kids, so moms and dads, you don't have to move them away from the phone tonight. Also, I am doing kids coloring pages. There is an app that you can color the pages on your phone or tablet, but also you can print off these pages. I don't own the pages, I just find them. They are printable. I'm going to be doing activity packets for the kids as an exclusive for my Patreon people. If you want to join my Patreon, the Sapphire tier is $3 a month. You can find the link for my Patreon on my profile on here. And your support would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, here's some children's stories for y'all. First up is Mickey and Friends, Mickey's birthday.
Mickey and Friends, Mickey's birthday. Mickey woke up and jumped out of bed. "Good morning, Pluto," he said, like he did every day. Mickey ate breakfast, like he did every day. He did his stretches, like he did every day. But today was not like every other day. Today was Mickey's birthday. "What should we do today?" Mickey asked Pluto. Mickey looked out the window and saw his friends. They were walking along the path behind his house. "I wonder what they are doing," thought Mickey. Mickey looked closer. Donald was carrying cups and plates. Daisy was carrying lemonade. Goofy was carrying a bunch of balloons. Minnie was carrying a big cake. "Pluto," Mickey said, "it looks like they are having a party. Do you think it could be a birthday party? For me?" "We'd better get dressed," he said, "just in case." So Mickey dusted off his gloves and polished his buttons. He even brushed Pluto. Finally, they were ready. A little later, the doorbell rang. Ding dong! Mickey opened the door. It was Donald, and he looked upset. "What's wrong, Donald?" Mickey asked. "My favorite hammock is broken," Donald said. "I cannot nap without it. Can you help me fix it?" "Sure, Donald," said Mickey. So Mickey went with Donald. As they walked, an idea popped into Mickey's head. "Maybe Donald is really taking me to my party," he thought. Mickey was so excited that he started to skip. Donald stopped near two large trees. He looked down at the ground. There was the broken hammock. Mickey looked around. There were no balloons and no cake. There was just one friend who needed his help. So Mickey helped Donald fix his hammock. "Thanks, Mickey," Donald said when it was fixed. Then Donald climbed into the hammock and fell asleep. "You're welcome," Mickey said, and he started to head home. On the way, he met Minnie and Daisy. "Mickey," Minnie said, "we have something to show you." So Mickey went with them. "Oh, boy," thought Mickey, "are they taking me to my party?" Minnie and Daisy led Mickey to their flower garden. "Ta-da!" said Daisy. "Everything is blooming," said Minnie. Mickey looked around. "The flowers are pretty, but where is my party?" Mickey wondered. Do you want to help us garden? Daisy asked him. So Mickey helped water the flowers. A few minutes later, Goofy ran up and pulled Mickey away. "Mickey! Mickey!" Goofy shouted, tugging on his friend's arm. "You have to see this!" So Mickey went with Goofy. Goofy seems very excited, Mickey thought. He must be taking me to my party. "Look, Mickey!" Goofy said, stopping by a large rock. Mickey looked all around, but there was no sign of a party. Why was Goofy so excited? Then Mickey looked down. 2 snails were racing on the rock. "Gosh, watch 'em go!" Goofy said. Mickey had never seen a snail race. It was exciting, but not as exciting as a party. Mickey watched for a while. Then he and Pluto headed home. "Oh, well, Pluto," Mickey said, "I guess I was wrong. I guess there is no birthday party after all." Mickey walked up the path to his house. He opened his front door and stepped inside. As he felt for the light switch, surprise! His friends jumped out at him. It was a surprise party for Mickey. For the first time all day, Mickey had not expected it. He was so surprised. "I do not understand," said Mickey. "How did you make a party at my house, and in secret?" "Yuck!" Goofy laughed. "We are pretty sneaky." Minnie giggled. "We took turns keeping you busy," she said. Mickey thought about his day. Donald's broken hammock, Daisy and Minnie's flowers, Goofy's snail race. Now Mickey understood. Mickey smiled, a huge smile. "Thanks, everyone," he said, "for the best party ever." His friends clapped and cheered. "Happy birthday, Mickey!"
In a tiny flat in London, just around the corner from Regent's Park, a Dalmatian named Pongo lived with his owner, Roger. Roger was a songwriter. He would spend hours every day tapping out new songs on his piano. Pongo enjoyed listening to the music, but sometimes life could get pretty dull. He was certain that Roger would be much happier if he met someone. Pongo was pretty sure he'd be happier with a companion too. Then one day, Roger took Pongo for a walk in the park. They passed a lovely young woman reading by the pond. With her was the most beautiful Dalmatian Pongo had ever seen. It was almost too good to be true. But the woman and her Dalmatian were leaving the park. Pongo needed to act fast. He started to bark. Then he tugged at his leash and yanked Roger directly in front of the young woman. He wrapped the leash around their legs, and before he knew it, they stumbled into the pond. The woman, whose name was Anita, was startled at first. But she and Roger began talking and laughing, and they discovered they had a lot in common. Perdita, Anita's pet Dalmatian, and Pongo had a lot in common too. The months passed. Roger and Anita fell in love, and soon they were married. Together with Pongo and Perdita, the newlyweds moved into a beautiful home. They hired a friendly cook and housekeeper named Nanny. Pongo couldn't have been happier. Life was far from dull now. Then, one morning, Perdita had some wonderful news. They were expecting puppies. But their celebration was unfortunately cut short when Cruella de Vil, Anita's mean old schoolmate, barged into their home. She was dressed in an expensive fur coat and carried a fur handbag. She was obsessed with the idea of puppies. "Anita, darling," she crooned, "where are they, the puppies? Such perfectly beautiful coats." "Oh, it'll be at least 3 weeks," Anita responded. Perdita had overheard the conversation and cried to Pongo, "She wants our puppies! She can't possibly love them! Oh, Pongo!" 3 weeks passed quickly, and in that time excitement rose in their London home. Soon enough, Nanny was shouting, "The puppies are here! The puppies are here!" Pongo and Roger found Perdita and Anita surrounded by 15 adorable puppies. Pongo nuzzled each one as Roger danced around the room. 15 puppies? How marvellous!" cried Cruella, once again storming into their home. Cruella eagerly plucked at the blanket covering one of the puppies, but the moment she saw the tiny Dalmatian, she pulled back in disgust. "They're mongrels! Why, they don't have any spots," she said. "They are not mongrels. They'll get their spots. Just wait and see," Nanny exclaimed. Cruella's devilish grin returned. "In that case, I'll take them all." As Cruella began writing a cheque, spraying ink everywhere, Roger saw Anita's sad expression. He firmly shook his head. "We're not selling the puppies. Not a single one, and that's final." Cruella's grin vanished, replaced with a sneer. She was furious. She ripped up the cheque and yelled, "All right, keep the little beasts for all I care. I'll get even. Just wait, you'll be sorry." Perdita and Pongo were so relieved. Roger had stood up to Cruella and their puppies were safe. Weeks passed. The puppies all grew healthy and strong. Pongo smiled every time he thought about their completely different and lovable personalities. Rolly was always hungry. Lucky always got into mischief. Penny and Patch were never apart. And they all loved watching their hero Thunderbolt's adventures on television. One winter evening, Nanny offered to look after the puppies while Roger and Anita took Pongo and Perdita on a walk. Just as she put the little ones to bed, 2 suspicious-looking men came to the front door. "Good evening, Mum. We're here to inspect the wiring and the switches," said the tall one. Nanny didn't believe them. "You're not coming in here. I'll call the police," she cried. But the 2 thugs pushed past Nanny and kidnapped the puppies. Pongo and Perdita were heartbroken. They were certain Cruella was behind it. But without any proof, there was nothing the police could do. Pongo realized there was only one hope left. "Purdy, I'm afraid it's all up to us," he said. "There's the Twilight Bark. It's the very fastest way to send news. If our puppies are anywhere in the city, the London dogs will know." So that night, on their evening walk, Pongo and Perdita barked as loudly as they could to alert all the dogs in London. From backyards to rooftops, the London dogs passed the news along to try and help Perdita and Pongo find their puppies. Their message spread far and wide. Miles away, in the sleepy countryside, an old sheepdog called the Colonel caught wind of the distant barks. "Sounds like an alert. It's from London. 15 spotted puddles stolen." Confused, he listened again. "Of course! Puppies!" he said to his friends. A tabby cat named Sergeant Tibbs